start. Every individual is entitled to perform his actions in private. In other words, she is entitled to be in a state of repose and to work without being disturbed or otherwise observed or spied upon. The entitlement to such a condition is not confined only to intimate spaces such as the bedroom or the washroom but goes with a person wherever he is, even in a public place. Privacy has a deep affinity with seclusion bracket of our physical persons and things bracket close, as well as such ideas as repose, solitude, confidential, confidentiality and secrecy bracket in our communications bracket close and intimacy. But this is not to suggest that solitude is always essential to privacy. It is in this sense of an individual's liberty to go things privately that a group of individuals, however large, is entitled to seclude itself from others and be private. In fact, a individuals in a space to which the rights of admission are reserved, as in a hotel or a cinema hall, must be regarded as private. Nor is the right to privacy lost when a person moves about in public. The law requires a specific authorization for search of a person even where there is suspicion. Privacy must also mean the effective guarantee of a zone of internal freedom in which to think. Para. Privacy is the condition or state of being free from public attention to intrusion into or interference with one's acts or decisions. The right to be in this condition has been described as the right to be let alone. What seems to be essential to privacy is the power to seclude oneself and keep others from intruding it in any way. These intrusions may be physical or visual and may take any of several forms, including peeping over one's shoulder to directly or through instruments, devices, or technological aids. Para. The disconcerting effect of having another peer over one's shoulder while reading or writing explains why individuals would choose to retain their privacy even in public. It is important to be able to keep one's work without publishing it in a condition which may be described as private. The vigor and vitality of the various expressive freedoms guaranteed by the Constitution depends on the existence of a corresponding guarantee of cognitive freedom. Para. Privacy, that is to say, the condition arrived at after excluding other persons, is a basic prerequisite for exercising the liberty and the freedom to perform that activity. The inability to create a condition of selective seclusion virtually denies an individual the freedom to exercise that particular liberty or freedom necessary to do that activity. Para. Even in the ancient and religious texts of India, a well developed sense of privacy is evident. A woman ought not to be seen by a male stranger seems to be a well established rule in the Ramayana. Griya Sutras prescribe the manner in which one ought to build one's house in order to protect the privacy of its inmates and preserve its sanctity during the performance of religious rites or when studying the Vedas or taking meals. Para, it is not possible to truncate or isolate the basic freedom to do an activity in seclusion from the freedom to do the activity itself. The right to claim a basic condition like privacy, in which guaranteed fundamental rights can be exercised, must itself be regarded as a fundamental right. Privacy thus constitutes the basic, irreducible condition necessary for the exercise of personal liberty and freedoms guaranteed by the Constitution. It is the inarticulate major premise in Part 3 of the Constitution. Para. Undoubtedly, privacy exists as the foregoing demonstrates as a verifiable fact in all civilized societies. But privacy does not stop at being merely a descriptive claim. It also embodies a normative one. The normative case for privacy is intuitively simple. Nature has clothed man amongst other things with dignity and liberty so that he may be free to do what he will consistent with the freedom of another and to develop his faculties to the fullest measure necessary to live in happiness and peace. The Constitution, through its Part 3, enumerates many of these freedoms and their corresponding rights as fundamental rights. Privacy is an essential condition for the exercise of most of these freedoms. Exercise every right which is integral to the constitutional rights to dignity, life, personal liberty, and freedom, as indeed the right to privacy is must itself be regarded as a fundamental right.